Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the project from SouJava, the Java EH, the next frontier. Today we have a very special guest here, Mr. Reza Rahman. Everybody sure that know him very well from the Java Guardians, international speaker. He's involved in very JSRs. So Reza, thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I know you guys are quite a large jug, and I think you'll help us help the community a lot with getting the word out for Java EE8.
Yes, we wanted to share very good content, and we know that you help us with that journey.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, Otávio, we are good here. Okay, Otávio has joined us to help if you have any trouble here.
Okay.
So Reza, first of all, could you talk a little about your involvement with Java EE8? I know that you are involved in some JSRs like security and something like that. Can you tell us a little about your involvement?
Yes. So when Java EE8 was starting, I was actually in Oracle, so I was involved in Java EE8 planning from the very beginning. So Java EE8, in my mind, is very special because it's the first time that the Java, anything in terms of a Java standard, was actually 100% driven by community input. So the way Java EE8 was launched was actually by starting an open survey that we had almost 5,000 input points that helped us determine what the agenda for Java EE8 really was going to be. And obviously, when I was at Oracle, I helped initially launch all of the Java EE8 JSRs, including the platform JSR. Long story short, it was necessary for me to leave Oracle and essentially to move Java EE8 forward. That's an irony. But since leaving Oracle, essentially I've been involved in 3 separate JSRs officially as a contributor, and those are the Java EE8 platform JSR, the servlet JSR, as well as the security JSR. But actually, I'm an observer on most Java EE8 JSRs, and obviously, I'm on a day-to-day basis. I keep in touch with folks in the community and folks in the vendors that are involved in almost every Java EE8 JSR.
Sure. So, what are the highlights that you put on this new version? Some new features or bug improvements, bug fixes or new improvements. What the highlights do you put on the new version?
So there's a number of them. Again, before we talk about Java EE8, I think we need to take a step back and understand the context of Java EE8.
Sure.
So there's two important things to understand. One is that Java EE7 was one of the largest releases ever in the history of Java EE. So a lot of work actually happened in Java EE7. So what that meant is in Java EE8, there's actually not that many features that are very, very straightforward. And I think it's even harder after Java EE8 to determine what are the features that developers actually want. So most of the features that are in Java EE8 now that are being released, I'm very happy to say is very much community-driven, very much exactly what developers expect out of the Java EE8 platform. So I would say there are essentially 3 or 4 major themes in Java EE8. Number one is actually continuing to align with the web standards. So one of the big ones, one of the most significant ones of that is alignment with HTTP 2.0 with the Servlet 4 JSR. But other than that, there's other alignment work as well in terms of web standards. So JAX-RS now has support for HTML5 server sent events. We now have even more alignment with the JSON specification, the JSON standards, through 2 different specifications. JSON-P, which patch and JSON merge, as well as a brand new JSON binding API named JSON-B. And there's other work as well. And there's work that has went into, important work that has gone into JSF in terms of a point release. So things like WebSocket alignment within JSF. There's also Java SE alignment within JSF that went on. So a lot of work in the web layer, and I think it's all good stuff, all important things that are important even if you are developing microservices. The other important aspect of it is CDI, some CDI alignment. So that's been going on for a few specs. But most importantly, in Java 8, we actually now have a CDI 2 release. And again, the CDI release was a lot of stuff that developers have asked for, and it's very, very developer-driven. Aside from this, there's a few sort of normal enterprisey things. The most important one of that is actually finally truly modernizing Java EE security via the Java EE security API, another API that I was actually very heavily involved in, and I am a contributor to, official contributor to. Lastly, there's actually platform-wide alignment with Java SE 8 features. So some examples of this is adding completable feature support in JAX-RS, adding datetime support in JSF, adding datetime support in JPA, adding repeatable annotation support throughout a whole bunch of existing Java EE annotations. So all of that, I think, is really quite a bit of work. I have a slide deck out there that talks about all of the work that actually has gone into Java 8 so far. It's on SlideShare. You can check it out. And really, I think it's a good, solid release. I think after Java 8, it's going to be very difficult to figure out what actually is right anymore in terms of standardization in Java EE. Obviously, there's other things that are on the horizon that we can talk about. But I would say after Java 8, Java EE becomes very, very solid, very, very rock solid platform in terms of feature completeness.
So it's a big release, right? It's a huge job that was put in, well, a huge effort that was put in this new release, right?
So it depends. You have to speak in terms of relative. So sure. in terms of net effort, it's definitely bigger than Java E5, Java E6. It's definitely bigger than any of the J2E releases. The J2E releases were very small releases. There were not actually that many features that went into each release. And those are more frequent releases as well during the J2E era. But this is definitely bigger than a lot more features than what went into Java E5 and Java E6 in terms of the number of changes. Not as big as Java E7. I think Java E7 was really huge. So it's difficult to compare anything with Java E7. I don't think it's necessary to have another Java E7 type release. That was quite a few JSRs. So yes, I would say this is a big by comparison to other releases in Java E compared to Java E history.
Okay, so Java E Guardians had an incredible job in this way through the new release. I believe that you have a key role or on that way, on that path to this release. Do you believe that you guys will keep doing this kind of job, this kind of working, moving Java E forward, or you think that with the release you slow down a little? What do you think about the future of Java E Guardians? Okay,
so the short answer is we are definitely not done. There is a lot of work that we need to do going forward, and we are actually going to change our charter as an organization to reflect what our continued mission is. But I'll give you a little bit of a preview of the kind of things that we're going to do in the near future. So in terms of priorities, let's talk about top priorities to lower priorities. So our top priority actually is to figure out what exactly should happen in Java E9 and getting all of the vendors together and getting all of the community and Oracle together to help determine what exactly should be in Java E9 and how do we go about doing that. And how does the alignment between microprofile, and Java EE look like? All of those are complicated questions. So it needs a lot of work. A lot of it is actually behind the scenes work to figure out what those are. Second priority is actually some reforms in the JCP itself. I'll give you some examples. So what we would like to do is maybe push for 100% open source TCKs for Java EE 9 going forward. Right? So all of the Java EE TCKs being open, anyone being able to contribute to them as they want. And also putting Java EE on a fixed schedule. Okay, so Java EE releases have not been on a fixed schedule for a long time. It's sort of, okay, whenever the work is done, we do a release. What we would like to see as a community is actually fixed releases. So every 1 year, every 2 year, whatever that release cadence is. And getting commitment from Oracle and getting commitment from the vendors that this is something that they want to do. And I think that's a key change that's also very important. Number 3 priority for us is actually continuing to evangelize Java EE, both Java EE 8 as well as Java EE generally. Actually, to be honest with you, this historically has been a weak point for us. Is as a community, we are not vocal enough. As a community, we don't say enough about why people should be taking Java EE seriously, why it's such a great platform, what exactly is so important in Java 8. So a lot of that work needs to happen. We need to do that as a community. We need to do that together with as broad of a group of people worldwide that we can to help continue to do that work. And also finally, contributing in the way that we have, in terms of I will call that operational contribution. So whatever the Java EE 9 JSRs are, we'll have active contributors there. If something needs to be moved forward by contributing code, by contributing to discussion, or contributing to input, or even outside of the JCP, things like moving the microprofile or similar things forward. All of those are all going to be part of our organizational charter well into the future. And honestly, we need everyone's help to do that. So I think we've been very lucky so far. We do have, if you go to our who are Java EE Guardians page, you'll see that we actually have fairly strong support already. But it's actually not enough because the Java community is extremely large. We have 7 to 9 million developers, depending on what numbers you trust. So we really need a lot more support from just ordinary Java developers, a lot more support from Java user groups, a lot more support from Java champions and Java luminaries. And we need to broaden our scope as an organization. And we need help in executing all of the things that I talked about in terms of the 3 or 4 items that we talked about. That's a very large, very ambitious agenda for an organization that's 100% volunteer driven. Right? We don't have any funding. No vendor support us. It's just guys like you and me, doing this on our spare time. So we really need a lot of support and a lot of help, and a lot of active involvement from a lot of people to keep the Java EE Guardians moving forward. But I appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much. And obviously, we tried our best, and I think we are happy with the results, at least in terms of Java EE 8 so far.
Yeah, I truly believe that you have done a incredible job. You can count on me to join you guys to keep the Java EE moving forward.
Yeah, we welcome you and anybody else. Yeah, anytime.
Sure, we are a community, right? So we heard that Java EE is moving to GitHub. Do you think that it will make it easier to the community to get involved and to test the codes and to send the PRs and whatever, to help the whole community get involved to move the Java EE forward? Do you believe that GitHub will be important for that?
Absolutely. So to be honest with you, this is also not something that has happened overnight. This has been in the works for a long time. And the idea is that, yes, we want to move. Obviously, we had Java.NET in the Sun era, and that was important. And that Java.NET, whether you believe it or not, actually helped build quite a bit of community around the Java platform. So it was a good decision at the time, right? But is it the right decision anymore? Probably not. right? So now we have more traction in GitHub, a lot more traction than on Java.net. So obviously, Java EE definitely makes sense to move to GitHub. In fact, I hope that maybe Java SE will move to GitHub sometime in the future too. But that's another story. But definitely, I think moving Java EE forward to GitHub is a step in the right direction. And I hope that it actually helps developers at least begin to look at the Java SE code, if not begin to contribute more actively. So yeah, I absolutely think it's actually a very good thing.
Sure. So do you think that this release will bring some career opportunities to developers who get involved or who try these new features? Do you see some new opportunities for them?
I definitely think so. So there's multiple levels why Java EE is so important in terms of developers. Number one is that it's a foundationally important API for the entire ecosystem. So if the Java EE gets weakened, everybody actually gets weakened, right? All server-side Java developers get weakened in terms of their career prospects. So definitely strengthening the entire Java ecosystem by moving Java 8 forward is important enough for that reason alone. I also think there's very good opportunities around consulting. I think there's very good opportunities in terms of training people to, again, doing that foundational sort of grassroots level activism to say, okay, why is this API important? How do you do these things? What exactly is in this release? And also, I think it's a great advocacy and evangelism opportunity. And it's all community driven, right? It's all an open standard. It's not controlled by any vendor. We in the community can do all of this work. So I definitely think there's lots of opportunities that people should be utilizing, and I hope they will. Right? I think this is an underutilized opportunity. People don't really understand what the opportunity here is, and I think there's a lot of it. There's a lot of work to be done, and definitely worthwhile work. And again, the Guardians are here to help. Any guidance or connections or resources, whatever is necessary, it's part of our goal as an organization, and we're definitely very happy to help anyone in those regards.
Sure. So it took a long time since the Java 7.
Yes.
Maybe 3 years, I believe.
4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that long time will work for bad or for good in terms of adoption of the Java 8?
It's definitely not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Yeah. So obviously that was the reason why we formed the Java 8 Guardians in the first place. 4 years is way too much. I think it is only because Java EE is so important that any thing like Java EE can even survive after a 4-year gap between releases. So I think Oracle begins to realize this, right? And I think we have voiced enough opinions to them to make them understand that this is not acceptable. Right? 3-4 years release cadence for Java EE is very difficult for everyone, and this must be improved going forward. So there's no use complaining about the past. What has happened in the past has happened. We can't change it. The important thing is now that we do have Java 8, it's a good solid release, and going forward we change this. We no more have this 3-4 year gap between Java 8 releases, because it's very unhelpful. It's very difficult. That makes it probably the biggest challenge in terms of Java EE is what happened with the Java 8 release, and I hope to never again repeat this. That we never see this again.
Sure, we all hope.
Yeah.
Do you recommend some kind of resource that for people that want to learn from Java 8 or even from Java EE, kind of podcast, blog, books? You are a book author, so do you recommend some kind of resource?
So all of the resources out there are free. So there's a number of resources. So let's talk about those. Number one is I actually, whatever people say, I actually still like the official Java EE tutorial. Yes, it's a little old-fashioned. Yes, the format is not so sexy, but it's still there. It's 100% free, and it's complete. Okay,
Sure.
and it's going to be updated for Java 8. Probably it's going to be the quickest resource that we're going to find for Java 8. Right, is the official Java EE tutorial. Other than that, lots of other people. There's going to be books that are being written in Java EE 8 already. A number of Guardians are actually writing Java 8 books. Josh Juno is one of them. David Heffelfinger is another. So soon there will be Java EE 8 books out. Guys are also very good Java EE 7 authors. Okay, so again, Josh Juno, David Heffelfinger, Antonio Goncalves. I think he really has the best book in terms of getting started with Java EE 7. It's an excellent, very easy to pick up, very friendly, approachable book. Right, so I hope Antonio will also update his book to be Java 8. I don't know. I have not been in connection with him for a long time. I hope maybe you will interview him as part of your series and ask him that question. Do you plan to update?
That's right.
Update your book for Java 8? And also, in terms of other resources, you can follow the Guardian account, the Guardian Twitter account. We always try to get as much content from the community that we can. So with the Guardian account, it's not going to be just one person, I'll tell you. So the Guardian community is very, very grassroots. You'll see dozens and many dozens of people generating really good content in Java EE. So what we try to do is centralize all of that content through our Twitter channel. If you're going to follow one person, I would say follow Adam Bean. Right? He produces some very, very good content in terms of Java EE. His videos are really great. His short blog entries are really great. Go to his talks. He delivers very, very nice talks. So really, like everything else in Java EE, it's not just one or two people. There's just a lot of resources, a lot of people doing very good work. But it doesn't have to stop there. You can be one of the people. Anybody that's listening to this, they can be one of the people that generate some of this content, and we can help. Right? We can help them generate this content if they have the interest.
Sure. I believe that we all have something to share, and we all can get involved and share the knowledge. If there's a little thing that maybe somebody doesn't know, and you can share it and put in the community and help us out, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So Reza, do you have any final words, any final thoughts to the community, some tip or anything else that you wanna share here right now?
So I want to talk about the fundamental importance of Java EE and what developers should do. As developers, we have lots of choices, and that's a good thing, right? We have many choices in server-side Java to develop applications with. But there's only one choice that is really community-driven and not controlled by any big company, and that's Java EE. Right? It's because it's an open standard. It's driven by the JCP. Nobody controls it, really. We can all contribute to it. It's a shared resource. So do think about Java EE in those terms. Right? So this is something that is really community owned. So if you're going to contribute to anything at all, please consider contributing to Java EE. I think this has been one of our weak points. We have a strong community already, but I think it needs to be a lot stronger, going forward. So that would be my last thought that I would leave with you and the rest of the readers of this video is think about what is it that you want to do. Do you just want to be a developer sitting at your desk writing applications, or do you have something to contribute to the world? Do you have something to contribute to moving server-side Java forward or moving Java forward? And if the answer is yes, I hope that you will consider Java EE, and we are here to help you. All of the Java EE Guardians are here to help you contribute and help all of us really move Java EE and server-side Java and Java moving forward. Without doing this, we will lose momentum. So outside of Java, there's lots of other things going on. What we need to do is capitalize on our strengths, capitalize on the number of developers and the number of people that have invested into Java and the server-side Java platform. And now it's time for us to pay back. It's time for us to contribute back and keep the longevity of the thing that benefits all of us.
Sure. So, Reza, thank you very much for your time. It was incredible. It was a pleasure for me to have you here and to know you. We have just changed emails until today. So thank you for your help, and thank you for help for not for us only for us today, but for the whole community with Java Guardians and writing books and so on. Have a good day, and until the next time.
Okay, my pleasure. Next time indeed.
Okay, thank you. So guys, thank you very much for watching us. Click the subscribe here in the bottom for the SouJava channel, and see you next time. Okay, bye bye.